In a cage, hungry hearts in a rage, glowing eyes in a daze, turning around in a hurry, hoping you will come along. I'm running as fast as I can, in a desperate need of a plan. It's the work of one little man. I'm fading out from the story. Am I a passionate man?
This is 1 inch in. Here, that's 1 inch in.
And by now, I'm sure you know that the lumber for this build was purchased months ago, and all of the rough cuts were made at my brother Lance's house. While we had a table saw available to us, it was not always convenient to pull it out of the garage. That is the beauty of Uncle Gary and Aunt Sally's offer to use their shop. With every tool I have ever used and several tools that I had little to no experience with, what better guide than my Uncle Gary? He is a master craftsman who has a resume that includes work that you can see today in such places as the Presidio La Bahia in Goliad, the Alamo in San Antonio, the Harry Ransom Center in Austin, and the 6th floor depository museum at Dealey Plaza in Dallas, from which JFK was assassinated, just to name a few. I came to his shop with an idea of exactly what I wanted. The trick was to translate from JD speak to something that would make sense to anyone else. Thankfully, Uncle Gary is an intelligent and patient man. There were several discussions such as this, with some failure to effectively communicate, but we were ultimately able to come together on the idea, and the next couple of episodes are a direct result of our success. I didn't want to make Sara jealous, but since the build had not begun in earnest, I considered the option of going with a larger vehicle. So many have questioned my ability to make this work, being the size man that I am, and sometimes these things sink in and affect our actions. The auction gave me some really good ideas though, should I consider stepping up in size. The caliber of this particular auction will require a bit more than the sum that I had intended to spend on a used vehicle, even if it is certified. I know that I have said this before, but I solidified my resolve to make it work with Sara. I've put a lot of time and tears into her build, and now would not be the time to pull the rug out. Sara's build was going to come together, come hell or high water. I could not have asked for a better opportunity as well. I had a workshop with every tool that would be required to complete the job at hand. I also had a really sweet room to hang out in, transfer footage, get some editing done, and of course sleep.
Shouldn't be a problem with our transfer here, so that I'll do this.
tells me to go.
Yeah.
I had originally thought about using pocket screws as my joinery, and as we discussed the conditions that the joints would have to withstand, i.e. an earthquake in the exterior every time I turned the key to travel, Uncle Gary convinced me that biscuit joinery would be the best route to take. This would allow for a lot more surface area for the glue to grab a hold of, and the biscuits swell as they dry, putting more pressure on the area. The wood would split before the joint failed.
I bet it'd be pretty close. Be like laying there, you know, some night, you know, and you're somewhere in the mountains. I can't sleep because I know that's under control.
By a 16th of an inch, I can't live with this.
You know, I can't sleep.
This is not gonna work.
Yeah, you see, there it is. No, not bad. Though.
No.
Can't be more than 16.
No. Yeah, that's.
I need to check that.
Well, and we'll still be able to. You know, side to side face it square.
Yeah.
Where we are now, that's pretty good. Oh,
Looks like
doesn't matter a minute. Should be good right there. That looks better. That's a lot better.
yeah.
A lot better.
You want to sand these inside pieces.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. Have orbital or
But if you're willing to roll up your sleeves, there's no end to what you can achieve. That's something else than what a fool believes. You got to pay your dues before it's all cookies and cream. You got to pay your dues before it's all cookies and cream.
We really were making good progress. As you know, the build was to consist of 3 major portions: the closet, in which I was going to store all my clothes, the kitchen with stove and cutting board, and the pantry, both for food as well as toiletries. You'll see the way that we were able to separate them in upcoming episodes. Of course, each day in the shop ended with cleanup and prep for the next day's work. It was in the midst of my after-work prep that I came across a circumstance that brought the whole project to a screeching halt and caused an entire day of inactivity in order to brainstorm how we could overcome this potentially serious delay in our progress. Stay tuned to see the idea that Uncle Gary had to put us back on track.